I got you right, you encourage us to follow Meledis' example and take all the settlers who have occupied our land to the court. My understanding is that the previous government and the late president, as much as the current government, do not encourage people to take massively, cases to the court. That's one thing. And of course, we all wish good luck to Meledis. But would that make things more complicated, given that the Turkish Cypriots have the right to sue us, who then we have to give them their land? And what would that be the result? They will take their land in the south, and they will keep our land in the north.
I'll answer the first part, I think somebody's going to answer the second part. Okay, well, I'll do the first part anyway. What I actually said was that I encourage everyone to find out what's happening with their land in the occupied area. It may be that when they find out what's happening, they don't have a case. It may be that even if they find out that someone is living in their land, let's say it's a German or an Austrian or an English person, it may be that they find that someone's living in their land and they could bring a case, but actually when they look at their title deeds, they find the situation is so complicated, they think they own it, they may not really own it, the person who does own it has died and not left a will. Those are usually the practical problems in bringing cases. But my own view, and this was what I said 10 years ago when the Loizidu judgment came out, is that we have to bring these cases if we want to have our rights enforced. If we honestly think that anyone else is going to sort them out for us, we're all dreaming. We have to do what we can to put pressure on governments to understand the importance that Kostas and Kostis and Meledis have talked about of people's property. So I would encourage people to bring cases where they can, and lobby will help them to do it. What I would say, though, is that it won't be in every case where they will be able to do so because of problems in their own title. The second thing about Turkish Cypriot rights, well, my position has always been clear, and I'm speaking personally now, not on behalf of lobby. If a Turkish Cypriot has rights, then they have equal rights, in respect of their property, and they should be entitled to their property in the same way. Why shouldn't they?
Yeah. May I ask Konstantis to...
Ο πρόεδρος να κάνει τη δουλειά του και εμείς θα κάνουμε τη δική μας. Λοιπόν, that's it. That's the way it is.
Yep.
I fully appreciate, the concern, especially of late President Papadopoulos, because he was referring to cases that had to do with the European Court of Human Rights. Okay? That is a living organism in the sense that you see the law developing, and we see that that court is somehow modifying its position. The starting point was Pidina Loizidu, and we see that it is going somewhere else now. What we have here with Meledis Apostolides is very different. It's very different in the sense that the case was referred to the European Court of Justice, and we had an interpretation. That's it. We are not going back to the ECJ. There is no way that this judgment can be overturned. There is no way. Not because it will not be, there is no practical way for the same questions to be referred again to the ECJ. Full stop. So if we are successful now, that will be it. I believe that President Christofias, who has not said so expressed, clearly, but I believe that he might be uncomfortable with the idea with many cases, being filed in court, similar cases, because I think his concern is that, the Turkish Cypriots may leave the negotiating table. I was asked this question on Turkish Cypriot television. My response was, so you mean to tell me, in order that you talk to us, you want to have a free hand to loot at properties? So you will only consider talking to us, okay, if we allow you to tell you from, as an unstarter, to tell you that, yes, okay, please come and talk to us, and in exchange we will allow you, we'll give you a free hand to go and look at the properties. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all.
Good answer.
And if they want to leave the negotiating table, it only shows, whether they mean business or not.
Well, I can see quite a few hands up. I have a feeling, though, that we have fairly well exhausted the subject, and I would like to thank everybody for coming here today, and I would like to say I'm very sorry for those whose questions we have not taken because of the number of questions being asked, which in itself indicates the interest there is in this issue. It is a very vital issue for Cypriots, Greeks, and Turks, as Nick said, as well as for many people, especially from the UK, who have been buying property in the north. I'll tell you a little story which will only take a few seconds. My cleaning lady at my house had admitted to me a little while ago that her daughter's husband, her daughter and her husband, had bought a property in North Cyprus. And she said, I'm sure you're not very pleased about this. I said, no, I'm not very pleased about this. The other day, she said to me, well, after this case with the Orams, they put their house on the market, because they're afraid that they might have a court order against them. And I said, well, good. So are they coming back? And she said, no, because if they come back, they'll arrest my son-in-law. So it's a great, it's another selling point if you want to buy property to get away from European or British law. The people we are talking about, however, have every legal right to be here, there, or anywhere. Thank you all very much indeed.